Kindy Rockstars. Prepare for a treat, let's meet and greet some bands and singers that are super sweet, making music that's fun for boys and girls. Help them learn about this great big world. Fun for the family, yes it's true, your kids will love it and you will too. Clap and dance and sing aloud, become a part of the Kindy crowd. These songs will make you move your feet and give your ears a great big treat. So settle in, grab your guitars, and let's get to know our Kindy Rockstars. Hello everyone, and welcome to Kindy Rockstars. This is the show that gives you the stories behind the songs from some of the best bands and singers that are making fun, informative, educational, catchy, and occasionally silly songs for children and families. I'm your host, Patrick Adams, and each episode of Kindy Rockstars will feature an artist and a featured song. So let's get to this week's show. All right, everyone. Today, our guest is Flor Bromley, who has a new album out. So, Flor, welcome to the show, and please tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into music and your background.
Thank you so much for having me here today. My name is Flor Bromley, and I am a singer, songwriter, a storyteller. I do puppets, and I did a little bit of musical theater, and I love to do what I do now. I got into Kindy music basically because I was working with a company. I was working with several companies right out of musical theater school because I have a bachelor's in education from Peru as well. And I started doing teaching artistry, going into all the schools and venues to participate with kids and write songs with them, do some theater with them. And one of the companies that I was working with, teaching Spanish through music, had a band. And they asked me to sing as part of the band. And in my first concert was at El Museo del Barrio here in New York City. And I just fell in love with that. The energy, making the kids so happy through music, because I was already doing the storytelling and including some music in it. I was doing some musical theater, one-woman show. So I was already kind of doing that, but just to see how the music by itself is wonderful with kids, that's how I got started.
Very good. And I noticed the focus on multilingual music.
Yes, I am Peruvian. I was born in Peru. I came here about 14 years ago to study musical theater. And I'm bilingual. So I see a need for languages. I was an exchange student in the year 2000. I went upstate New York where there's nothing. And in that experience, I met so many people from so many different countries that I spoke so many different languages. But in the end, it made me realize that we're all the same. We're all just teenagers trying to do teenager things, even if we were brought up differently, even if our cultures were so different. It's a joke that one of my friends from Costa Rica was at a school, not my school, but was at a high school there in New York. And somebody asked him, so how are the cars in Costa Rica? And he's like, well, the cars actually have square tires. And I was like, oh, really? That's awesome. Yeah. And my friend from Ghana, she comes to school in an elephant. He was joking about it. But that's the misconception that a lot of people have around the world. Because the elephant story didn't faze me. But a part of me was like, I don't think this is true. But you never know. So I feel a need of showing kids and families other cultures through music. So in this album, in my first and second albums, I also had some Peruvian infused music songs, but this album, I wanted to make it more personal and give it a tribute to my indigenous roots. And part of what made me do this is my grandma passed away a couple of years ago. And I think this is actually her background, her blanket. And she has a big influence in my life. And she spoke Quechua very little, which is a language from the native Peruvians. So I have a little phrase that I say in one of my songs that is something that she used to say to me while she was crossing the street with me in Quechua. I think it was a mix of Quechua and Spanish. So that's why I decided to do this album with that influence.
Yeah, no, and you've got a new album out. So how has that been? I know it was just released, but is everything crazy? And are you out there performing live?
Yes, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. The single released a couple of weeks ago, the album released last week, and it's been crazy, of course. But I also had the joy to be able to perform live here in New York. So I'm still doing some virtual concerts in Delaware and in Virginia. Um, but doing the show, I did a pre-release a couple of weeks ago in the Summer on the Hudson, which is a beautiful place outside near the Hudson River. And it's amazing. And a lot of kids came, and doing that was amazing to do. So I've been also busy with doing some concerts live, some virtual concerts, been creating the music videos. It's a lot, but in the end, it really pays off, to like people having people being connected through your music is, I think, what we do with this all the time.
All right. The song in today's show is called Pachamama, and this is the first single from Flor's latest album. So let's get into the story behind this song. What does it mean? Tell us a little bit about Quechua, because I think that also figures into the song as well. So,
Pachamama is it's in the language that my ancestors Peruvians spoke, which was Quechua. Before the Spaniards came, we spoke Quechua, and that's the language that the Incas spoke. And Quechua has 3 vowels. The pronunciation is super easy. And when I decided to write Pachamama, I wanted to pay a homage and a tribute to my grandmother, and she spoke a little bit of Quechua. So I started writing it up, and I wanted to make it in a Huayno Huayno. So we have 3 dances in Peru. The first 3 predominantly dances in Peru. The first one is from the coast, which is Afro, and it's an influence of the Black people that came to Peru. So it's a lot of percussion and very lovely. And that's from the coast of Peru. And then from where I was born, Trujillo, which is a little bit north, also on the coast, we have Marinera, which I included in my second album, which is a dance that we do with a handkerchief. And the third predominantly dance that we have is Huayno, and that's from all the Andes mountains. So like from Cusco, from where the Incan Empire was, that's the dance that Peruvians do. So I decided to do Pachamama in Huayno style and to make a tribute to all my Peruvians out there.
very good. So what is the song about?
So Pacha means earth and Mama means mother. It's a tribute to Mother Earth. And the way that I was looking at writing this album and how to make it cohesive, it was around COVID, and we were all in quarantine when I wrote the album. And it's hard to be in quarantine with 2 kids and a husband that works from home. But also, I was reading around the news, and my Peruvian friends were telling me that the sky was blue. So in Lima, which is a very dense city, the sky is always gray. We call it panza de burro, which means the donkey's belly, because it's always gray. But during COVID, it was blue, and they couldn't believe it, And I read stories about how animals were reclaiming their habitat, and the oceans were clean, and there was no pollution.
All right, tell me a little bit about the instruments in the song. I was particularly struck by, I think it's like a flute type of instrument.
Yes, so the pan flute is an instrument from Peru, and it's a bunch of, how do I say this? Like big straws of maybe bamboo. See, I'm so bad at this. They get together and they make different sounds. I actually have one over here, but I didn't bring it. And I learned to play it in theater school in Peru. So in the theater school that I went, they wanted you to play as many instruments as you can, to learn as many dances as you can, to be just prepared for the acting world. So we learned that instrument, and it was fun to do it. So I decided that I wanted to include that Peruvian instrument. And I had the chance to working with this incredible pan flute duo that's called Waita, and they are in Maryland, and my producer knows them. So he introduced me to them. and they recorded it right back in their studio, and they sent it to me, and it's wonderful. I'm so glad that I got to work with them.
Very good. And you had another singer on the song with you that sang in Quechua, correct?
Yes. So this singer, her name is Wendy Sulca, and she was very famous. She was like a viral YouTube sensation. She started singing winos when she was very little, and she sang two particular winos that the lyrics were kind of controversial because they talk about breastfeeding, and the other wino was about beer. So nothing to do with one or the other. She was about 8 or 9 years old, and these are winos. These are songs from the culture of Peru. So the fact that she started singing it, it was like a viral kind of joke. People were like, "Look at this girl like singing that. That's funny." And she became super famous in Peru for that. And then she made another song with another collaborators that was kind of like fun too. And then she decided to keep doing the songs, but she decided to make a switch because she was like, I'm a grown up now. I want to make other types of music. So she went into pop. So from folk, she went into pop. And then she tried at the pop, but I think now she's trying to like take back and go into folk pop mode, and she's mixing up and fusioning, also like the way I do it, fusioning different genders with Peruvian music, and she's done a wonderful job. Like I'm so happy to work with her because she's great, and she did the music video too, and she's fantastic.
Very good. All right. Well, let's listen to the song. So this is Flor Bromley, Pachamama.
Pachamama, 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 Pachamama. We come to thank you, dear mother. The strength in you we discover. The sky, the water, the sun make us connected as one. Thank you, oh sweet Mother Earth. Your love, we feel it from birth. I want to take care of you. Please tell us what we should do. Pachamama, 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 Pachamama. Mama cha agradeci que Campi Calpata Tairiku Hanam Pachaya Quintiwan Japan Ching Unyum Nakusu Anyay Miski Pachamama Winyay Pakuya Waiku Wahachay kita monani Dachachi Waiku Mama Pachamama, 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 Pachamama. Hoy quiero cantarte, hoy quiero bailarte, hoy quiero sentarte. Hoy quiero cantarte, hoy quiero bailarte, hoy quiero sentarte.
All right. That was Pachamama by Flor Bromley. Very, very lovely song. So Flor, tell everyone where they can stream and download that song and how they can find you either live or on social media.
I am on all digital platforms. We have Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Bandcamp, Tidal, Deezer, Pandora. You can find me in all of those digital streaming platforms. Also YouTube Music. I'm there. Very soon, I'm gonna be able to mail some CDs. So I will have some physical CDs on my website. It's called florbromleymusic.com, and there you can also find where I will be performing live. There's a little fit tag that you can just put all the shows where I will be performing live or virtually. I'm also on social media. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I just did 3 videos. And it's all part of this campaign. And I hope you enjoy the music and share it and have fun with your little ones and your whole family enjoying my latest album, Pachamama.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Flor, for doing the show.
Thank you.
All right. Best of luck.